Welcome to the Out of Capes podcast for The Flash Season 1, Episode 6, titled The Flash is Born. This is a weekly podcast focusing on CW's The Flash series. I am one of your co-hosts, Staffa.
And I'm the other one, Eric.
How's it going, Eric?
I'm good.
Awesome. Apologies to the listeners real quick for, posting this up a little later than we usually do. Also, we're going to try something different this time. In the past, we did like scene-by-scene recaps. Basically, that resulted to the podcast being about as long or even longer than the actual TV show. So we're going to just talk about some main points this time and try to shorten this up. Does this sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, anyways, the way how this show will be structured, we're going to have an episode discussion real quick. We'll review and rate, and then after that, we'll talk about whatever potential theories or spoilers we have to talk about. So, discussion. What do we want to talk about first? The Barry and Tony / Man of Steel.
If you want to.
All right. So, we saw that this Tony guy, he was a bully. As you mentioned this in the previous podcast that he was going to be a childhood bully of Barry, and
Yeah.
one of the things that Barry had to overcome in this was overcoming his bullies.
Yes. And also, I liked how also was someone that Barry knew before the powers. Alden had powers too.
Mm-hmm.
I like that aspect too.
Yeah,
Not just a person Barry never knew before.
Yeah. Like, as far as Tony himself, I feel like the show, The Flash,
Yeah.
other than Captain Cold, I feel like all of the bad guys have been lame in one way or another. And in Tony's case, you got this grown man who is still living mentally in elementary school.
Middle school, and there are people that are like that in the real world. They can't get out of the high school level. He just got stuck in middle school because I guess he went to juvie, so he didn't get the high school level kind of stuff.
Okay, and like they still have like a picture of him in his wrestling uniform in the trophy case. It's like, so no one else after all these years, no one else was like a wrestling champ.
I'm guessing not.
So this guy mentally a man-child, and like in that sense, I felt like he was kind of lame. Like I mentioned, I feel like the only bad guy on the show so far who is actually pretty cool was Captain Cold.
Yeah. What I liked was yes, they had the particle accelerator to give all these people powers, but they also stuck with Carter's origin, which is he did in the comics too. He did fall in a vat of melted iron and somehow survived because it just so happened had Star Lab materials in it.
Mm-hmm.
So they took the origin, which sometimes they don't do in these kind of shows. They want to take their own take.
In a way, that reminded me of Joker's origin. Except Joker felt
Joker's origins.
What's that?
One of Joker's origins.
Yeah, where he falls in the
origin is never known.
Yeah, but the one where he falls in the thing of poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of that, except obviously he turns into Colossus instead.
Yes, Colossus.
Yeah, the whole
Steel.
the whole can he run faster than Mach 1?
Yes.
I feel like doesn't he run faster than Mach 1 anyways? Because the dude's
already.
Yeah, he zips.
They've shown him running, and then car windows breaking. So I'm guessing he's already ran past Mach 1.
Yeah. Plus, he zips around the city so fast. He goes from the police station to his house to Star Labs to Starling City in like an instant.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I feel like them just now saying he finally passed Mach 1 kind of I don't know. Like I feel like they're playing him as being slower than what they have been showing him off as.
Yes.
Um, what else do we
And,
want to talk about?
we can go to the next one.
Barry and Eddie.
Yes.
Yeah, like I feel like that they are trying to play Eddie off as like this nice guy that wants to reach a hand out to Barry.
Yes. The whole like I'm dating your best friend, so I guess I have to be your friend, so I'll be super uber nice to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, and Barry obviously very reluctant to do so because he's obviously jealous of Eddie.
Yes. But also like the whole Eddie, like I was small as a kid, but I learned to fight.
I was small and fat.
Yes. And try to like he was trying to like relate to Barry and trying to say like Barry's not the only one that got picked on in school and
So, excuse me.
like when they're doing the boxing scene and then he goes maybe next time use a little more speed.
Yeah.
And then
Uh,
Barry just kind of like rolls his eyes.
do you think this is like Eddie is gonna be like uh Flash's, I don't know, like combat trainer?
I don't know. I mean, we could kind of talk about this in
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah, we can go more into that in spoilers.
Because, I mean, I'll say this now. They're kind of like hinting Eddie to be kind of like Barry, but like opposite Barry.
Mhm.
Like, you see sometimes in shows, they show like a character, and then they'll have a character come in that's like almost the same as Barry, but shows like what it if say Barry took the left path, Eddie took the right path, and that kind of thing. To me, Eddie's kind of they're trying to play Eddie off as like
How
Barry.
did you get past us? I took a
Yeah,
shortcut.
yeah. Like he just now notices that there's weird things happening around him after like 6 episodes.
Yeah. Also, another thing in this episode, we pretty much see Barry and Iris pretty much, um, they make amends of their what would you call it, like arguments that they had in the previous episode.
They're tiff.
Yeah, their tiff. They basically had it took them one whole episode to like get over get over their disagreement.
That's how it is. They forgive each other.
Yep. I mean, like
Here's my question, and I want to know. I don't know if they've ever said this or what. Is Iris Barry's only friend up until now? Because it seems like they're kind of like hinting it, and also kind of implying Barry had no friends beside Iris before the accident. He never
you know
talks
what?
about it. He doesn't. He only hangs out with Iris, and then there's it.
I think you're right. That's what it seems like in the show because he only hangs out with either Iris or the Star Lab scientists,
Yes.
and he doesn't have any other friends in which he goes and tells them about his secret.
No.
So, although I will say that I'm glad that they kind of got past this, this whole we're not speaking to each other thing pretty quickly because, like I was saying last episode, I feel like it was getting old.
Yeah.
So maybe
Angst between characters that they're known for doing.
yeah. So maybe this indicates that he's going to reveal to her sooner rather than later who he is. Hopefully they do.
Hopefully.
Um, what else do we want to talk about?
Kind of brought up the next point already. His speed.
About him actually being named the Flash now.
I know.
Where did Iris get that amazing comic drawing?
I don't know.
Did she draw that herself?
I don't know.
um,
It's a photo. That or she took it from another person's blog who drew a photo of what they saw, and then she's using it as her own.
it's been Arrow has been going on for 3 seasons now,
Yes.
and they haven't really even officially called him Arrow yet. They still call him the Vigilante, right?
No, they call him the Arrow.
Okay, they kind of call him the Arrow. Not even Green Arrow, just Arrow. Flash, on the other hand,
Season 1 was Hood. Season 2 is Vigilante. Season 3 is the Hood.
uh,
So I'm saying probably by season 5 we might be at Arrow, Green Arrow.
uh, Flash, on the other hand, 6 episodes in, and they're already they decide to call him the Flash.
Yeah, I really like this.
The streak was so dumb.
Like you said, it sounds like some like poo stain.
Exactly. I mean, it's just about as dumb as the Blur with Smallville.
Yeah.
Or well, first they call him the Red Blue Blur. Then when he started going all Neo
Yeah.
with his trench coat, they call him just the Blur, which is still a dumb name.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm glad that they're establishing the Flash, like getting to the point with him rather than spending forever, just doing origin.
Yeah. And I think that's what Arrow is just mostly Arrow origin.
hmm but like, while we, since we're talking about, him being named the Flash with, Iris and all that, and
Yeah.
when he was going against Tony, um, I thought it was kind of lame that he like all he ended up doing was punching him, just giving him one punch to the jaw, and then Iris had to do the finishing blow.
Yeah. I can understand his blow broke the metal from Tony, but still I was like, really, when Iris punched in and knocked him out with one punch.
Yeah, I figured that what was going to happen was probably Flash's one punch was going to just completely knock him out.
Yeah.
I liked Cisco's little simulation where it shows Flash blowing up.
He's like, and if Barry goes 1 mile per hour faster, kablamo!
It was like this really cheap animation made in Blender or something. Like they didn't even use Maya.
Nope.
And then obviously, I mean, we got the Reverse Flash at the end of the episode, but we could talk about that in the spoiler section.
How about you talk? There's something you left out.
Okay, sure.
Like what this episode was kind of about, which is also Joe investigating the murder and kind of like befriending Wells, and then near the end he kind of like implies that Wells knows more than he's saying, and also implies that Wells might have a hand in Barry's mom's murder.
Uh-huh.
That was kind of like, to me, it's showing that like it's also the subplot of this whole first season. I'm guessing is going to be that murder.
Yeah.
And just the way the Wells acted was just a little weird. Like he just so happened to have an alibi. He moved a month after the accident. He moved here.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And then Joe wants to say sorry with a bottle of bourbon.
Yep. And then that leads into Joe goes back to the house, and the lightning happens again. It's Reverse Flash.
Mm-hmm. The Speed Demon?
Speed Demon. I'm telling you right now, he's not human. He's a demon. It also confirms the Constantine Flash crossover.
Uh-oh. There's no crossover. Come on now.
Joe to stop investigating, or I'll come after her, and puts up a photo of Iris
with a knife through it.
My knife through it, and then he takes all the evidence.
Yep. So do we want to talk more in depth on that in the spoiler section then?
Probably yes.
All right. So let's review real quick.
Yes.
I think I did it first last time, right?
Yes.
So you go first. Out of 5, speed demons.
I would give it probably a 3. A demon.
3 speed demons. Oh.
Yes.
I guess I like this episode a lot more than you did. Then I give this 4. I give it 4 out of 5 mock. What's that?
My rating probably would be 3.5, but I can't do basketball, so I rounded down.
Okay. I give this 4 out of 5 mock speed punches. I thought this was a really fun episode. Even though Tony was kind of a lame character, I think they did a lot of good character development with the main characters. And I think that's pretty important in the series to work on the recurring characters and make them better. So
one question for you though.
What's that?
How do you feel about Bear revealing himself to Tony at the end of the episode?
Yeah, I didn't really like that.
I understand the whole getting past your bully thing, but Girder's most likely going to escape, and how he knows who Flash is.
Yeah, why he's telling his worst enemies who he is. He's not telling Iris who he is. They're locking up these dangerous people in these cells where how are they feeding them?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. But I mean, I think this was a lot better episode than last week. Last week was okay, but
yeah,
felt like it was lacking. And I feel like this week it got back on track and was a much more entertaining episode.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
good episode. I'm just saying it was like a 3 for me. It would be a 3.5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, 3 isn't bad. It's right in the middle.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's move on. If you want to write into the podcast and have your feedback right on the show, let us know what you thought of the current week's episode of The Flash is, you can write to capes@outofcontinues.com, and we will read your feedback. Let's move on and close the show before we get to the spoiler section. We'll have the spoiler section after the closing, just in case, for people who don't want to listen to spoilers. So if you enjoy what you've been hearing, well, first of all, we want to give a shout out to our #1 fan, Omar Ahmed.
Yep.
Thanks for being on the show,
supporting us.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here without you.
Yep.
If you enjoy what you've been hearing, support us by liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, leave an iTunes review, or you can contact by email, which is capes@outofcontinues.com. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/outofcontinues. All these can be found on the website. That's www.outofcontinues.com/tvpodcasts. You can give me a tweet. I am @SayedStafa. That's @SAYEDSTAFA. Eric does not have a Twitter.
Nope.
I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah. If you like video games, you can check out my video game podcast, which is at outofcontinues.com. It's a weekly podcast, posts up every Monday. So with that said, I am Stafa.
And I'm Eric.
See you guys either in the spoiler section or next week.
Yes.
So, we got some spoilers.
Yes.
Let's talk about Eddie real quick.
Eddie.
So, with the bonding that Eddie has been trying to do this episode, it makes me question whether Reverse Flash is Harrison Wells, or if it's actually Eddie, because Eddie is trying to uh,
Buddy,
he's
buddy.
yeah, he's essentially trying to make Barry a better person.
Yes, which is Professor Zoom.
Hmm.
That's the thing too with like Eddie. It almost seems like I don't think he is because unless he's really good actor, I don't think him acting like not understanding what's happening around him with all the weird stuff. I think that's genuine, like he doesn't understand it.
Hmm.
But I don't know. He could be
Like
just a good actor.
yeah, I mean the way how they're setting it up so far is, I feel like the writers are trying to throw us off.
Yes.
Trying to throw us off as to which one is Reverse Flash. Is it going to be Eddie Thawne or is it going to be Harrison Wells? Because up to this point, it's been pointing to Harrison Wells, but with this last episode, it might be Eddie, maybe.
Or it could be option C. Neither. It's Cisco.
But it has to be Harrison Wells, and I know why.
Why?
It's because he put that knife on that picture of Iris. And we all know that Harrison Wells likes to get up and stab people.
That's your only logic. There's a knife for a photo.
Yes. I am the world's greatest detective.
I mean, also you have the evidence is who knew that Joe was investigating the murder besides Wells and Barry.
Hmm.
So, who knew? So then Wells knew that Joe was investigating. So then at the end he just did the whole like reverse flash and destroyed the evidence.
Hmm. I mean, there's one more thing I want to talk about. I mean, unless you have anything else to add, but they mentioned the guy on fire, which is obviously Firestorm.
Yes, and he won't appear until episode 9.
Okay,
No,
so
9 or 10, I think.
we're a good 3 or 4 episodes off then.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's cool that they're already trying to hint at him rather than just have him come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Saying that there's another one in the city.
Hmm. Why isn't Iris obsessed with him?
Exactly.
She's only obsessed with the guy who runs fast. Even though she already established that she's obsessed with the guys who can do the impossible just because it will help Barry, and for whatever reason she thinks it's going to help him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have anything else to add as far as a spoiler discussion?
Not really. I don't think there's that many spoilers in this episode.
All right. One last thing.
What?
When do you think the Star Labs makeshift prison is going to bust open and all these villains are going to come back out again?
Uh,
Because it's pretty obvious that's going to happen, right?
It's very obvious it's gonna happen.
Like the power is going to shut down.
What would make sense for it to happen, like would be a great way for it to happen at the end of season 1, because then it shows that happening, and then have like an explosion at Star Labs or something happen, and thus giving these people new people powers, but also increasing these people's powers too at the same time.
So, makes me wonder. So, like this season, like the main villain, is that supposed to be Reverse Flash, or is it going to be the Rogues? Or
I think it's gonna be the Rogues.
Okay.
Because they're slow. Like I was told, the way like I read is that they wanted like the whole like be the Rogues be the big one because they are one of like Flash's big ones. Plus, it brings all his villains into a thing.
Yeah.
It also feels like they can also do this like villain of the week thing because they'll be slowly introducing all the Rogues and then all of them come together to take down Flash.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely want to see more Captain Cold. He was a pretty good.
Episode 10 with Heatwave.
Okay. I didn't get to see the preview for next week. What we got going on for next week?
Next week is I think it's Blackout, and then it like in the preview it says something about like has uh Eddie has like a plane up his sleeve.
Who's Blackout?
Blackout's this dude who has like absorbs energy. So it's gonna be one of those episodes where can Barry save the day without his powers?
Ah, okay. Spoiler, the answer is no. He can't because he will find a way to get his powers back.
It's also yes, it's also the final episode before the crossover.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right, so looks like that's it for this week, and we'll see you guys next week then.
Yep.
See ya.
See ya.